They sell Junkrat shorts at Hot Topic. The other store at the mall, the box lunch box. They sell Lucio jerseys, genuine jerseys. I don't got
Like
the money for that, but I want it.
like for a team in the Overwatch League.
I think that's what they're going for. I don't know the lore that deep, but it does appear to be that way.
No, not the lore. The actual. There's the Overwatch League. They play it on ESPN
Oh,
too.
yeah. No.
Okay,
No.
it's not like
Not those
the
guys.
Cornwall Dragons or
No.
whatever
Yeah.
they're called.
Yeah. Where every other month one of them gets busted for being real racist.
Against all races.
There's everyone's just like, oh, this guy just got suspended because he said the J word. Can't do that.
Like, which one is that? I can't say.
Almost got me though.
Nice try.
Yeah, that was hilarious. The second the Overwatch League became a thing, a couple days later, they were just like, "Oh, some of these kids are shitheads." Yeah, they've been playing video games their whole lives online.
You're paying them to play Overwatch. What kind of character do you think they have?
Man. So yeah, have not been able to play Overwatch. Just busy out there watching Royal Rumbles. Out there watching a Dead Bod.
Dead Board.
Dead Bod.
Well, yeah, we had a show Friday. Everybody came out from the D&D crew.
Yeah, the D&D group was there. Got a couple of Torrid chants going, which was the highlight of my life.
Yeah, that was cool, and I think only the 7 of us knew what that meant.
I think that's why I enjoyed it, because everybody else in the brewery is probably like, why are they chanting
Torah?
about that big lady, the large lady clothing store? I mean, we knew that table.
But
we knew that table was weird when they came in, but they're going above and beyond now, I think.
Yeah, you had a nice jacket on. You were styling in that goddamn jacket.
Had a nice little leather. Wore a nice little kind of dress shirt that I thought looked nice. I thought I was wearing a nice shirt.
What happened?
That was some broad that they brought to try to make Mason not lonely was just not having this shirt.
She wanted it off. She's like, take that shirt off. No, really?
Maybe, yeah. Because she was like, there's too many buttons. Oh shit, maybe she wanted those buttons. Maybe you're right.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's gonna be my pickup line. There's too many buttons on your shirt. Can we do something about those buttons?
Too many buttons on your shirt. Why don't I take your pants off? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was excited that you guys came. It really made the night that much more fun. And you guys went buck wild for Hurt. You gave me so much shit on the podcast about, another pick-me-up song, huh? Or maybe it was an Overwatch. But you definitely gave me shit about it. And then we started it, and the whole table started slamming their fists down and going nuts. I thought, okay, yeah, it's real funny, guys. It's real funny. And then you told me, no.
It was genuine.
It was genuine.
It's a good, in retrospect, the way that song opens, it's very recognizable. And it's just, you can sing along to it. Yeah, it's real sad. It's a bummer song.
It jumps right in, too, like right with the lyrics. As soon as the music starts, because the actual track on the album is like 30 seconds of weird noise, and then it starts. But as soon as that music starts, he starts singing. So it's one where you just jump into it, and people are either crunk for it or they're not. Like, what's another one like that where, jeez,
I feel a lot of Guns N' Roses songs don't fuck about.
Right, but one where it's like as the first chord hits, the lyrics are starting.
You're the music guy. You're
Incubus
the fucking
has
musician.
a song called "Warning" that starts with the lyrics and the guitar right away.
Right, Achy Breaky Heart, all of them.
I don't know about Achy Breaky Heart. Memory Remains by Metallica, which is not, I don't like that song, but that one starts right off. Fuel by Metallica starts with the lyrics. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me yabba dabba doo.
In your neighborhood.
So when songs like that start, people, if they're into it, they're just ready to rock. It's like if you start, it's like a run in wrestling. You know, like you're either super excited to see that guy come out, or you're like, oh, it's him. But if it's your guy, you're like, yeah, look at him go.
But either way, you know who it is.
Right away.
What it is. But yeah, got into it. I think everybody got into it. I think it helped that it was maybe was it the last song? Close
It's
to it.
close. I think it was
People,
the last. It may have been the second to last. It was
yeah,
the last because the fake last song was Everlong, and then that was the encore.
yeah, you worked the people.
Gotta work them.
I appreciate that.
Look, the people want to be worked. Okay.
Yeah, they enjoy it. But since it was the last song, people, and it's a brewery, people were a little liquored up. People were feeling the juice. The juice was loose.
Oh yeah.
Inside their veins. Yeah. So it was a good show. Is there another dad bod show that we all get to overdrink at soon?
Yeah, we don't have the date nailed down. It's going to be sometime in February in Hammond at a place called 18th Street Brewery. It's closer than Highland for you.
Well, and it's a brewery and not a closet. So I'm already amped up because breweries are usually large venues.
Yeah, it's a brewery. And I liked Beer Geeks. That was fun. That was a cool little place. But
what I didn't.
Calm down, Donald.
What? You go?
No, you were like, I don't. What were you about this? I
didn't name the venue. The Beer Geeks.
I love Beer Geeks. No, but there are places that are small. Them. That place was not that small. There have been smaller and weirder.
I believe you. Yeah. So we'll get a date on that, and we'll plug that shit. Because I just like going with people. It's fun.
What's cool though is in all of the places we've played so far, all the shows we've had, I've had a lot of people come out. I mean, we collectively as a band have, but like way more higher percentage of people have come out to see these first handful of dad bod shows than Blackened shows. Like we had to play House of Blues to get you to come out. Like, it's House of Blues. Can you come? You're like, I guess.
I think that's
place people play.
I think that's exactly why it works, because it's like it's low key. You know where the parking's not going to be an issue.
Right. It's friendlier.
It's not going to be a whole fucking production. You walk in, you grab a table, and you just have a good time.
Yeah, it's not like, I can't talk right now. Sound checks in 4 minutes.
Yeah. And at the dad bod shows, I just walk right up there.
Yeah.
And spook you guys while you're setting up, and it's fun.
The tip jar worked. I had a tip jar well hidden up there, and somebody sought it out and put money in it, which was nice.
I think a little baby, because there were several babies at this.
There were babies
at this show. I think a baby went up to your tip jar and was just like, "Yoink!"
No more babies.
I think you got robbed a little bit.
No more babies at these shows.
No more babies.
No more babies. I don't want them. Get them out of here right now. Especially if they're not pure. He's big into that, you know.
My
racial purity.
Last little dad bod thing. My favorite part is when you play the End Fools Shine On song, and I'm like, everyone shut up. He's doing a song that I like.
And no one else knows the song but you and I?
Yep. And I'm like, I recognize this one. And I'm just like, I always record it. And then I look at people and I go, Halloween 6.
And they're like, which one is that? And you're like, God damn it, shut up. You're ruining everything.
It's the Paul Rudd one.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
There's a comedy one?
Look, I'll talk to you after the song's over. I'm trying to listen to the song.
Look, can you keep it down? They're like, you're talking to me.
I've had 2 beers.
I didn't say anything to you yet. Yeah, I was glad you guys came out. It was a fun show. It's been my favorite show so far. You know, like performance-wise, just setup-wise, I have everything dialed in now.
There's like fog. Was it or it was dusty?
Could have been both.
Was it
just
just
a
dusty?
little light show? It was dusty fogs.
It was nice.
It was great. I was glad you guys came out. So sometime in February we're supposed to play in Hammond. It should be good.
Cool. I saw you post on Facebook Ghostbusters picture. Is that what that was?
Well, so those are I shared that because it got shared to me, and initially on my first reaction I was like, oh shit, but I was like, wait a minute, I would have heard something, and then I did a little digging, and this is an old picture.
Oh,
of Bill Murray.
Gotcha.
Dressed as Peter Venkman, but it's recent enough, you know, like he's got gray hair.
He's older,
right? But it's not a real thing, because I found articles going back to 2016 Ghostbusters with that picture in the article.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good, if you're going to do one of those bullshit fake news articles, I mean, that's the one you use.
Wasn't even
It's in the
an
gear.
wasn't even an article. This was just like, if we make it blurry and sort of off to the side, it might look like a set picture.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh shit. So initially, I got really, really hard, and then I got soft. I'm like, wait a minute. This wouldn't just be a picture by itself. If this was a thing, this would be all over these
Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah, nerdgasm.org or movieclips.net or whatever.
Geekcomeclub.com.
Basically. So, but it made me think, okay, it's a real thing. We know that now for sure. There's Sony announced a release date, or a tentative one. So
you believe now, because I brought this news last week and you just would not believe me. No, now you're on board.
Okay, there's a subtle difference. I believed everything you said was said by those people. I was just like, yeah, we'll see if it actually happens. This is a guy yeah, I'd like to do this thing. Sony said it's okay. I'm like, yeah, we'll see. This seems a little weird.
Sony said yes.
But no, Papa Sony did say yes. Apparently, the 2016 Ghostbusters didn't make as much as they wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when that movie broke my heart. They wanted to do a whole fucking universe thing, and they were gonna have spin-offs, and they had a subdivision at Sony. I think it was Ghost Core, and then the movie came out, and they're like, "Where'd those offices go?"
This is like Boiler Room. They're just phones in the middle of the floor.
I thought we had a separate wing. It's just cobwebs now. So yeah, I mean, that movie ruined a lot of things, but they still obviously own the property, and they want to milk it. It's like they went to milk the cow, but they just grabbed it by its teeth, and they're like, "We're not getting what we want, but we still have the cow. We can just keep trying to
keep squeezing its
milk
hoof
out." Yeah. Let's see what they grab this time.
And like we predicted, Halloween, big smash success, made a ton of money, and it deleted reboots. It was a resequel. And one of the articles I read even didn't mention Halloween by name, but mentioned that this is the trend now, and it's going to be the trend where it's sort of a sequel that picks up from an older movie in the series of whatever series it is, that's going to be a popular thing now instead of the straight up reboot. But Sony, being Sony, was way behind the curve, and in 2016 thought, let's do reboots. People still like reboots, right? We do it with Spider-Man all the time. So they did a reboot. Now, personally, I think that cast even would have been better served to be in a movie that wasn't a remake. Even if they're going to do everything else the same, make it pick up in that same universe where the original Ghostbusters left off, because that's what you're cashing in on, is the nostalgia for the original.
Yeah. And all the heavy lifting would have been done for them.
Yeah.
They what they would have been able to do, and this is their strong suit, the Paul Feig. You just would have had to make jokes. You didn't have to do story, because they did that for you. Just make jokes. They made me a little story, but they were like, "No, we can do both." You can't. You couldn't.
Yeah, it would have been better served being in that universe. So it makes sense to me that this is going on. It just seems weird. That movie still feels so fresh in my mind. But I guess by 2020, yeah, that's normal Spider-Man timeline. 2007, Spider-Man 3 comes out. 2012, that's 5 years before Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, there's something else that is getting a fucking reboot that has no right to be.
2015 was what? Amazing Spider-Man, or maybe 2014, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Then 2017, we got Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
So here's my question.
So normal time frame for Sony, really.
Yeah, so Sony, Ghostbusters, and we talked about this reveal last week, and surprise, bitches, it's Ghostbusters, we're back. And Jones, yeah, Leslie Jones wasn't happy on Twitter. This is some shit Trump would do. She said, give or take. Do you think that this Ghostbusters 2020 is going to acknowledge the 2016 movie or characters in any fashion?
If it did, in any fashion, I don't think so. I don't think they'll be dumb enough to make a joke about like some sort of sexist joke about women can't do this job or something. So I don't think they'll reference it in that regard.
Not even that. But like, see, you haven't seen the 2016 film, but it has a cold open, a haunted house, a haunted mansion, and there's a ghost in the haunted mansion because that's what, you know. But it had a name like the Villamese house. Do you think that they named like just the weird little name drop of something that makes it just
maybe that maybe I don't know, they could do some weird parallel universe shit, but I mean Halloween, if we're using that as the template, which why wouldn't you? They knew what to stay away from. Like, yeah, let's not mention Jamie Lloyd. Let's not have Daniel Harris in it. Let's not confuse anybody or conflate this with something else. Let's just do, pave this trail all over again. So I don't think if they do, it'll be a really small nod.
Yeah, I just think, I mean, Leslie Jones is gonna be pissed. Either way, I have a feeling she's gonna get on Twitter.
She
didn't acknowledge us, or you did acknowledge us, and it insults me somehow.
Yeah, well, wasn't she mad when the movie came out? Didn't she get in some big Twitter fight with somebody and leave Twitter or something like that?
Oh, yes, she did. I think it might have been
that's
people
just probably
giving her
happen
shit.
No matter what. Oh, giving her shit because the movie was bad?
Yeah, and it's Twitter, so they went straight to it's like, all right, she's a woman, she's black. Let's just hit all of these.
Right. They just fired off on her. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Twitter.
And like I said, from her perspective, I get it. You were in this movie. It's a big budget, big movie, and now they're making another one without you. I could see how you could be pissed about it. What the other thing that feels weird about this is if you look at Sony's history, Tobey Maguire, forget about that. We got Andrew Garfield. Forget about that. We got Tom Holland. This is like The Dark Knight Rises comes out, and then last year Michael Keaton's Batman again. Like that's just it's a weird time frame to go back to the original.
Yes.
They're not like we're rebooting it a third time. They're like bringing back the original universe.
I do wish you and people in general would stop bringing up we should bring Michael Keaton back as Batman, because I just can't take it. Every day that's not a thing, I just can't take it.
I'm sorry.
Come on, like, do they?
It's pushy suicide. It's supposed to be cold.
Just walking around in a turtleneck. Just have him be Bruce Wayne. I don't even need to see Batman.
Just contemplating everything with his glasses.
Just looking out windows. Come on. I don't even want him to have walls in his fucking. Just windows. Take off the glasses. Oh,
yeah.
Put on the glasses. Take off the glasses. Ooh, put the glasses back on. God, I love Michael Keaton. He's just the best. Just the best.
Kiss can be even deadlier. Oh fuck, we know each other.
I know the Penguin's here.
Yeah.
Act 3's crazy. Oh man. Oh. Okay.
But it's like that. It's like not only are they changing it again soon after, but you're going, and that's all I could think of that's the only reference I could think of is something where it's been like the 15th one, and now we're going to go back to the original.
And I think it's fine, just like it worked for Halloween. This will work because you're really just skipping one movie, and you don't even have to skip it if you want to be nice about it. Although you should, because they made the terrible mistake of having those actors in the movie. Ernie Hudson, Murray was in there for a scene. I don't remember if Aykroyd was in there.
I heard they were all in there.
Yeah, I think they were, and then so you kind of can't. I mean, obviously they were playing different characters.
Sure,
but
it's just also weird branding wise, because don't you gotta call this Ghostbusters 3 now? But is that going to confuse people even harder?
I don't think it will, because remember the director of this Halloween, David Gordon Green, and he was so nervous that people wouldn't know what's going on.
He wanted
Oh,
to-
it's Halloween. Will they know? And guess what? They all knew. And that's Halloween. That's a horror film. This is fucking Ghostbusters, man.
Well, let me play
People
devil's
know
advocate, though.
Ghostbusters. They know what's what.
I'm not talking necessarily about should we remind them what happened in the other movies, but this coming out so close to a reboot of the franchise, are people going to be confused whether or
No,
not?
stop. That's not it. People have already forgotten this. They fucking the Men in Black penned themselves or just stabbed their eyes completely out of their head.
Or just didn't see it, especially
just-
not enough for Sony's liking.
Or just didn't see it.
I haven't seen it, and now
Yeah.
why would I?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, it's Sony, so my expectations are low. Jason Reitman's low expectations.
Yeah, I was reading more about this, and Jason Reitman was saying, it didn't even sound like he was been dying to do this since day one. It was just like, well, they want to make another one, and they don't want to make it a sequel to that. He's like, well, we could do this.
He's like, my schedule's open.
Yeah.
So it's not really a passion project.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, speaking of movies, I saw 2 movies in the theaters this past week.
Jesus Christ, Dale. What did you see?
Dose. I saw Glass. And, you know, we talked a little bit about it and how the Rotten Tomatoes score was really bad, like 32 or something. And I talked about, I'm going to give it a chance. You know, you never know. Sometimes the reviews are wrong. And I go in, I give it an honest chance. And, 2 hours later, it was really good. Glass is good. And I think it was just the #1 movie in the country again. It's doing very well in the box office. And I go back to the Rotten Tomatoes when I got home because I was like, it was good. What the fuck is the deal? It was like a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Jesus. That's a
But
big...
the audience was like 79.
Okay,
maybe
that's a
higher.
big discrepancy. So he didn't pay enough reviewers? Is that how... That's how Rotten
Yeah.
Tomatoes works, right?
Yeah, it does seem that way.
Star
It does
Wars,
seem that way.
98%. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter what it is.
And before I saw it, I had just read or heard that he funded the movie himself. Like the product, like he would get all his money. He was betting on himself essentially. And knowing that made me laugh because so much of the movie takes place at one location, this fucking psych ward. So they have one location, and I was just like, yeah, this is like a fucking indie movie, except for they had to pay Bruce Willis, Sam Jackson, and the good-looking guy. What the fuck's his name? What's his name, Jim?
I don't know. What's his
Stop
name?
eating cheese. What the fuck are you doing?
What's his
Split actor.
Split actor.
James McAvoy. Aha. Yeah. So he had to spend all his money on those guys.
Yeah.
And they just shot it.
Magneto.
Exactly. But it's very. I like it quite a bit. They did they really lean into the superhero stuff, which we knew they would. That's what these movies are about. But it's fun. It's a thinker because you got this psychiatrist lady, and
Sarah
she,
Paulson, yeah.
Sarah Paulson trying to help them. It's like everything you've done can be proven by science, and you're not actually superheroes, right? And she gives like some really good fucking like stats.
That's a great angle to play too, because
yeah,
when you finish Unbreakable, you wonder where does this go in this universe. Do we get a glut of superhero phenomenon, or does this sort of fly under the radar? And what does society make of what this guy can do? That type of thing.
Yeah, and it really messes with him, which is great because in Unbreakable, the Bruce Willis character, if you touch him, he can like read your sins or whatever the fuck. He gets a quick flashback of a bad thing that you've done.
Yep.
And then he beats the shit out of you.
Yeah.
And
he's really, really strong and unbreakable.
he's like, you can't, explain that. And then she does. She's just like, well, you saw the red clay on his pants, and he was walking from this direction to that, so that's what led you there. You're just a very astute person, and boom, like all this stuff. And he's just like, oh.
He's starting to question his own sanity.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good. Sam Jackson doesn't say shit for like the first hour
That's
because
great.
he's up to some shit, and it's just great. Oh, spoilers for Glass, by the way. Because the best part is, and I think this is why it's got a 32%. People didn't like this part, but it was my favorite part because they lean into the comic book aspect when you find out this psychiatrist lady is part of a secret society whose mission is to suppress the knowledge of these gods walking among us. And it was fucking nuts. The
I
last
mean,
10 minutes of that movie, I was like, what?
I was, before you got into all of that, when you said she's trying to help them, immediately I wanted to say, well, but I don't get the impression she's really just trying to help them. It seems like even in the trailer, just by the way she's acting, that there's something else going on.
Yeah.
Like she's either helping Glass or she's something is not right with her. She's not just, oh, I'm just trying to help.
Yeah. There definitely was, and I thought the writing was good. I thought the direction is good. I like M. Night. He makes some choices. He's never boring. He never plays it safe.
Did you see Split?
I did see Split. I
Was
like
it good?
Split. Oh
I
yeah,
wanted to see that and I never did.
yeah. It's cool because it's just like a different genre in the same universe. Like that's more of kind of like a thriller.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's the same universe but different genre. Like he's playing with the same toys, but now he's in the backyard.
That seems
I
almost like
love that.
Silence of the Lambs fucking meets Identity. You know, like he's schizophrenic and he's kidnapping people, and so in the trailer they set up that Glass wants to get there's this one of his personalities is this beast, right?
Mhm.
And he's trying to get
Yeah.
trying to tap into that beast, and obviously in the trailers we see that he does, and he escapes. Well, that's interesting. It's cool that the audience score and the reviewer score is so different because even if they're far apart, not far apart. Usually, when they are apart, they're not that far apart. That's kind of nutty.
Yeah. And so I think that's probably what the reviewers didn't like. It's a lot of it's very subdued and kind of slow, and like they're in these meetings, these psych sessions and shit like that, and Glasses in his fucking wheelchair drooling and all. So they might have been just expecting something else. But I do like the choices. One more spoiler for people listening. The three leads, very good. They die.
What?
They get fucking killed at the end by the secret society, essentially. Like
So
Bruce
there
Willis is
won't be a
fucking
third one.
drowned. No, well, this was the third one, but
Oh, right. Because Split was the second one.
it did. In Glass has a line like, "Oh, this isn't the finale issue of the comic that I thought it was. This is an origin story." And I was like, "Interesting. Who's it an origin story for?" But each of the main characters has like that one person in their life. Like Bruce Willis has his son,
Mm-hmm.
and Glass has his mommy, and the Beast guy has the girl that he kidnapped from Split. And it looked like they might have some sort of story if they want to take it that route in the future, or you could just call it a trilogy, move on to some next shit. Because of course there was so many fucking articles where like the ending explained. M. Night comments on the controversial ending, and I was just like, oh shit. Like I saw those headlines before I saw the movie, and then I watched the movie, and I'm like, people, you gotta smarten up. Like it's just like the society doesn't have a name. They don't explain it. That does not matter. Like these people,
They're marks, bro.
they're marks, bro.
Brother, they're marks. Now, this is interesting. He's made a lot of movies. Is this the only movie, like sort of storyline he does that has any sequels? Like the only sequels he's done have been with this Unbreakable one, right? Like he never made another.
Signs 2, Swing Away.
No, he didn't make
Yeah.
that one. That was just that was direct to VHS. It went straight to VHS, white to Star Video, new release rack.
But he did do Lady in the Water too, Still Swimming.
Still swimming.
Somebody give me another M. Night movie.
He did
What was the Mark Wahlberg one?
More Things Are Happening.
What's Happening? He did What's Happening? How is this still happening?
It's happening again? It's happening? Not again. Oh, it can't happen again. Not like this.
What is happening?
He did More Villages.
Yeah. I would like a sequel to that one, actually. People did not like that. But I saw Glass. The other movie I saw.
I love your criteria. You're like, that one I would like a sequel to. People did not like that.
People, like, it never will. That was.
You just want them to hurt?
Process. You
want more people to hurt
themselves today. The other movie I saw was Stan and Ollie, which is John C. Reilly and Stephen Coogan as Stan and Ollie, the comedy duo from the 40s.
Laurel and Hardy.
And it was good. I only saw it because it had like a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I needed to see a movie before January ended. Otherwise, I was gonna go see Glass again or something, and I wasn't gonna do that. So I said, I'll go see the one that's supposed to be good, and it was good. It was a bit more of a drama than a comedy, because John C. Reilly, I'm expecting the yucks.
Yeah,
you never know what you're gonna get with that guy. He's got range.
He does. It's hard though for me to watch him and not laugh, even if he's being serious. He's got one of those faces for me.
Yeah, and it's harder. It was hard in this because he plays this big, sweetheart of a man, where it's just like, if he spilled his drink, you'd be like, "Oh, he spilled his drink." He's like, "I didn't want to spill my drink," and you just feel bad for, like, you just love him. So it was really strange choice for him to play that character in here, but it was a fun look at this iconic comedy duo. It was like past their prime, like it picks up. It's pretty much starts when their career is fucking dead, and they're like, "We're gonna go do this comeback tour. We're gonna do these theaters. That's gonna attract a movie director, and we're gonna be fucking back." And it does not work out.
And it's based on actual events, I would assume.
I assume so. Yeah, it was good. I came to laugh though. I'm in there wiping a tear. Like, I don't want to wipe a tear today.
Just for reference here, the Thermometer, Unbreakable, 69%.
Okay. Wow.
Audience score 77.
I'm surprised that's low. The audience makes sense, but 69 for critics is weird.
Let's look at The Village.
Let's do the Split. Let's do the trilogy first.
Okay, so Split. Let's check this out on RottenTomatoes.com.
I'm gonna guess Split has a 72 critics.
Okay, Split 77.
Okay. Ooh.
Audience 79. So pretty normal division there.
Yeah, Unbreakable didn't really catch on until after the fact. I bet if these fucking hack critics had a second chance, they'd be like, "Oh, I always loved Unbreakable.
Huh?
Did you know it's a comic book story but a drama?"
Since I don't mean to keep going back to this, but Ghostbusters 2016.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, I mean, we're this fits because I just guessed and I was correct. I was looking for these split decision movies, right?
So the first number is 12 and the audience number is 8.
Thermometer 74%.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Ghostbusters 20. Wait,
fresh.
I'm sorry. Which Ghostbusters film?
2016. Certified fresh 74%. Audience score 51. Interesting.
Jim, I'm going to need you to. What was the thermometer score?
For Ghostbusters.
For Ghostbusters, what was the thermometer score? You just said it.
I went away. 74%.
74%. fucking four. Okay, I remember. This was because of the like all the sexist stuff. So I think they might have just said, you know what, these girls did good. Fuck you, internet. These girls did good. See, that movie got political as fuck. So,
It did. It did. That's quite a disparity. I'm also interested. Let's see, Ghostbusters 2. Because I remember just reading in general that because you love it, I love it. My wife loves both Ghostbusters movies. Everyone I know loves Ghostbusters 2. Okay, what I thought, but not. Okay, thermometer, Ghostbusters 2. What do you think?
I'd say 81.
For the critics,
Yeah.
53%, which is rotten. Audience score,
Okay.
though,
81 for them.
technically fresh, 61%.
Oh my god.
So yeah, the movie that you and I remember fondly, that I don't know anybody that doesn't like Ghostbusters 2. This is clearly an instance. Of course, the first one is
Sure.
nuts, right?
Yeah.
Like 97%. 97. Audience score 88. Who the fuck is? What's wrong with audience scores? Okay, so audience score 88, but certified fresh. So you can tell there's a trend here. Ghostbusters 2 is not like a cult classic. It was a big box office sequel that took a long time to come out. So all these reviews they got, I guarantee they're all from 1989. You know, and people are like, same shit again. Just took 5 years to come out. It's crap. Whereas a movie like Big Trouble in Little China, that's fresh. That's like, what is it, 80%? I put it away. I'm not looking again. But it's high. But if you look at a lot of the reviews from 86, they're bad. But a lot of these, like, moviecultureshock.org gives it 48 thumbs up. So there's like a pop culture phenomenon behind it, a cult classic phenomenon. And I don't think Ghostbusters 2 has that. The first one at the time was a critical success, a box office success. Everybody loves it. And then the sequel, I love the sequel. You love the sequel. People of our generation, I think, definitely all love the sequel. Sure, is the first one better? Yeah, okay, of course. But the second one's good. It's funny. The jokes work. The bad guy work. Like, it all works. So it makes sense. It's not going to get that let's go back in time with rose-colored glasses treatment.
Ernest Goes to Camp.
Arguably the best of the Ernest franchise, in my opinion.
62%.
What?
That's strong. That's strong.
What the fuck? Wait a minute. Wait. You're full of shit. I got it. You're full of shit. I'm looking it up right now. I'm sorry, audience. I have to do this.
Everyone thinks I'm a fucking liar.
I have to do it. I can't even find an Ernest movie. Does it even come out at the goddamn show?
I can't find an Ernest movie.
Oh my god. Dale's 100% telling the fucking truth. So, was that the first one? Looks like it. 87. Ernest Goes to Camp. Say, I didn't know what order they came out in or any of that shit.
Oh, yeah, don't. Oof.
I just know as a kid, Ernest Goes to Camp was my favorite. I fucking love Ernest Goes to Camp. And the other ones I thought sucked hard. Looks like Ernest Saves Christmas is the next one. But I liked Ernest Goes to Camp. Yeah, 62%. What does the audience say? Audience says 50.
What does the audience say? 50%. Yeah, see, I was always an Ernest Scared Stupid, which I know is not good, but it's just like Ernest Saves Christmas gets the bump because it's a Christmas movie. Scared Stupid gets the bump because it's a Halloween movie for me, and it's got a 17%.
Yeah, Ernest Goes to Jail would have been my next one, like the next one I've seen the most probably, because that's where he plays a guy on death row who's not Ernest. And they
Yeah.
like switch bodies or something. It's
He
like
does some
really weird.
acting.
Yeah, yeah. He plays like a villain. It's bizarre. But yeah, that's so Ernest Goes to Camp. While my favorite Ernest movie, I think does not deserve to be higher than Ghostbusters 2.
Just throwing that out there, you know. Sometimes
Jesus
these
Christ.
these tomatoes are
They're all over the place, man.
hard to figure out.
Motherfucking Ernest Goes to Camp is fucking almost higher than it's higher than Unbreakable, right? Unbreakable was certified rotten.
It was
Like
it
50
was
something.
close. It was close. I think it might have been like 69 or something. It was lower than I thought.
Are you
Yeah,
shitting me?
and that's remember this. If when next time you're arguing
I'll
with
never
people,
forget it.
folks, just if somebody's bringing up a Rotten Tomatoes part of the argument, you say, "Well, you know, Ernest Goes to Camp."
You just
has a
invoke it.
60
You just say Ernest Goes to Camp. It's like you're in. It's like saying I object in the courtroom. You just say it. Like, well, Rotten Tomatoes. And you just go Ernest Goes to Camp. Sustained.
Fuck, he camped me. He Ernest me. Fuck.
Goes to Camp. I hope the Illuminati doesn't listen to this and go and change that back to what it should be.
Just to troll us.
Yeah.
Make us look dumb.
62%. Jesus Christ. What did Batman Returns get? I have to. This is
the best.
Batman.
No,
Batman Returns got an 80. Okay.
Yeah, I'd be
Thank
very
God.
surprised.
Thank God.
I'd be very surprised.
62%. You know, of all the things I knew we were going to talk about, knew we were going to get into movies and Ghostbusters and all that, I didn't think my takeaway from this episode was going to be Ernest Goes to Camp got a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's 87, man. It was a strong year for movies.
You're goddamn right it was. And part of what they say, the box office wasn't as good as people wanted for Ghostbusters 2 because it came out in 1989. It came out like going against Indiana Jones and Batman. Good luck. Have fun with that shit.
You know who loved that shit though? McDonald's and Burger King, because they had the best toys and cups and little collector's editions of everything, because every movie was awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, I really take it for granted. That year, 89, we got Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which Dale has probably not said on the podcast, but he said it during Overwatch. He went and rewatched it more than once, and he's like, yeah, well, I'll let you say it. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
We're talking Last Crusade?
Last Crusade.
Yeah, I've mentioned on our shows that Temple of Doom, favorite, Raiders, close second. And then I don't really like Last Crusade. I thought it was a little boring. It just didn't feel much like an Indiana Jones movie, and I could live without it. But it's on Netflix, so I'm watching all of them, and I'm just backgrounding the shit out of it. Last Crusade's on, and I just find myself watching it. I'm like, this isn't bad. And I watched it again, and I just keep watching it. And I've come around on The Last Crusade. I think it's very entertaining. But here's the rub. I stand by the fact it doesn't feel like an Indiana Jones movie. It seems like a spy movie and Indiana Jones is there as well. But with that, it's still very fucking good. I could live without all the brown too. Every scene, brown desert. Like, come on, mix that shit up. But yeah, the Sean Connery stuff's great. They fuck the same woman. This father-son combination. They bang the same chick, and they're just like talking about it in front of her, and it's great. You can't do that anymore.
You want to talk about consistency here? 95% fresh for the first one, 85 for the second one, which I thought it was going to be a lot lower. But it's 80, 85, 88 for the third one. Mm-hmm. And then 94% for the third one for audience. That's the biggest discrepancy. 81% for audience on Temple of Doom. So they thought it was a little worse than the critics because they're dumb. And then Raiders 96%, so 1% higher for for viewers. So
That's
viewers a little
crazy.
higher, viewers a little lower, viewers a little higher. That's what I hear from a lot of people too, is they don't like Temple of Doom. And
Sure. But like
it's my favorite
Raiders,
one.
but Raiders is always looked at as like one of the best movies ever, one of the
Yeah.
best screenplays ever. If you're getting into screenwriting, you can't talk to anybody without somebody talking about fucking Raiders. So for it to have a 95 and for Crusades was better.
No.
Either way, it was
No. Raiders is the highest. But what I'm saying is
no. The audience was
the
95,
audience was
and
higher
there was
for is
90,
96
yeah.
for the audience for Raiders.
But 95 for Crusades, like it shouldn't be that close. I think that Sean Connery really boosts those numbers.
It's a
Had no
really good
stats.
ensemble cast, and you get more Marcus, you get more Sala in the third. You get more of the other people that are good. They're also good. It's not like more of the ensemble cast and they're bad.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that kind of makes it not feel like an indie movie. Because Temple of Doom, it's just like it's me, this lady, this loud lady,
Oh,
and
God,
this
she
little this
fucking
this
loud.
little boy,
But
and
not ugly at all.
no, and they're on an adventure and begin. But this, the gang's all here. It's a fucking variety show.
I just so let's talk a little bit more about Last Crusade now that you've come back around.
Sure.
So now that you've come back around on Last Crusade, I've said this and people give me so much shit for it, but I say if we're looking at trilogies, the Indiana Jones trilogy to me is the most solid.
and
And
we're
most
running
people
up
are
against.
like, "You're dumb. Star Wars is the best ever. It's Star Wars. It's the best." I'm like, "You're gonna tell me Return of the Jedi is better than Last Crusade? Like as a story,
Oh,
and it's better shot and better acted. There's like a 20-minute added dance sequence. Okay,
see,
so let's do the originals then. Okay, let's be fair.
There's always the one movie in the trilogy that brings the argument down. Now, obviously, in Indiana Jones, it's I would normally say The Last Crusade is the weakest link, but most others would probably say Temple of Doom. Return of the Jedi, weak link. Fucking Lord of the Rings. I mean,
Okay,
Two Towers, I guess. But no. But here's what I want to go to because I'm looking at it right now on my DVD shelf. It has a weak link in its trilogy. But just like you enjoy Last Crusade or Temple of Doom, I enjoy the weak link in this trilogy. And I think it puts this trilogy, I keep saying trilogy, over Indiana Jones. And it's Back to the Future. Because I don't hate part 3 at all. I quite enjoy part 3 of Back to the Future.
I'll say this, as far as like fitting together wise, Back to the Future is probably hard to beat, other than Elizabeth Shue completely replacing an actor. But like those movies feel believably connected the way they are. You know, like unlike the Karate Kid trilogy, where it's supposed to be as connected, where it's like, yeah, well, I fought in this tournament, and then I was in Okinawa for a few months, and now I'm making bonsai trees in part 3. You're like, wait, this is the same calendar year? You know, like, well, I'm defending my title that I won last year. Like, dude, you're 30 years old now.
Yeah.
Whereas Back to the Future, it's like, what, 85, and then it's like 89, 89, or like 88, 89. Like 2 and 3 were really close together.
Mm-hmm.
But they all feel tight together, you know? So, but no, I think Indy is more solid, man. Solid.
I understand that perspective.
But no, I'll give you this. No one's ever gone Back to the Future on me. They always go Star Wars on me.
Well, Jedi's way too weak to. It's disqualified.
And I think
you're disqualified.
I think people, as it should have the credit, people give A New Hope a lot of credit for just groundbreaking things and having a big symphonic score, orchestral score, and the special effects and the all the archetypal stuff it does. But if you're just watching it as a movie, you know, I think Raiders is just way better. It's just got, I think it's better acted. I think the script is better. It looks better. it's not pushing the
Yep.
boundaries that that first Star Wars had to push. You know, it's not like a budget, like a surprise hit thing. But I just think it's, if I'm being honest, I just think it's better. So
Yeah, it's one of the best trilogies of all time.
it's
There's
just
certainly
great.
that.
And
And
that's why I hated
yes,
Crystal Skull. Because from as much as I love nostalgia and going back to the well, and we talked about this a bunch of times through the history of the show about how I love the story of the old boxer that's got one more fight in him, that type of story. As much as I love that, since I, when I was young in high school, in my early 20s, like, please don't make another Indiana Jones. Okay. Let it be like the best trilogy ever. And it ends they literally ride off into the sunset. Just let that be it. Don't come back and ruin that for me.
see, and I think you should have Ghostbusters 2016 that and just maybe not see it, because I feel that's another movie that people just brush under the rug now. They sweep under the rug. It doesn't count. Like, even jokingly, people just like, oh no, I'm not talking about that one.
Yeah,
It's not. It's an after. Like, it doesn't exist. When they do this new fucking Indiana Jones movie, which I think they are going to do, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't mention a single fucking thing about that one, the skull one.
I hope they don't. And what's funny is when you were like, I'm looking at my DVD shelf, I'm like, oh, is he going to bring up Lethal Weapon? I'm like, he can't. There are 4 of those. And I'm like, well, there's 4 Indiana Jones movies, but there really isn't.
No, but I've been enjoying watching Last Crusade. It is very good. I think because I
was rather wonderful.
Watching in like high school and early 20s, it's not the most fun of the movies, but it is good. One thing I enjoyed was I used to hate the opening because I was like, I don't want to see kid Indiana Jones. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. He always done a little circus train thing, and and we can see the snake, and it's like, all right. But what I did like is the bad man gives him the hat, and they transition to adult Indy.
I love that
and he's
shot.
and he's on a boat, and he gets punched in the face, and it's very fun. But he's on a boat because he's chasing the big bad from this previous story of young Indy, because Indiana Jones loses.
Yep.
The big bad gets away. He gets like the blood diamond or whatever the fuck, and he's like, later, little kid. And then we fast forward here, present day, and he's on this boat getting it from this guy. And I like the fucking obsession angle there, because you're going to get more of that with his father being obsessed with his storyline and the goblet. So it's very good.
I love all of that
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying.
The parallels and all that.
Yeah.
What's cool about it too is there's like they sprinkle a little cynicism in the beginning, because young Indy, he succeeds in his first mission or whatever. Maybe it's not his first, whatever. He gets the artifact and he gets it back home, and he's like, look, Dad, I got this thing and I saved him. And who comes? The police. The sheriff comes. Oh, you stole something that belongs to this man. And there's all the bad guys there with the sheriff.
Just in his house, just walking in his house.
And he takes the thing from him. And it's like, oh, man. And it sort of sets up Indy doing his own thing. And it sort of sets up, if we think about it, he's going to rescue this piece. And he's trying to get back at this bad guy from his childhood. But in Raiders, he's trying to make some money, man. That's what he's doing in Temple of Doom too. He wants these artifacts because he's selling them in museums and shit. And then he sort of always accidentally has to save the world. So I love that about him. So that cynicism sort of stuck with him. Like, well, I'm going to get my money then. I'm going to get my cheddar. And I think probably part of what makes this feel like that to you, like it doesn't feel like an indie movie, is he's not chasing down an artifact for fortune and glory and then getting caught up in saving the world. He's going to save his dad.
Yeah.
His dad's missing.
And I did like that. I like that angle. It was just like, your guy went missing, blah, 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 sucks for all that. And he's like, your father was that guy though. It's like,
Like
oh
when
shit.
we think of the artifact being the Holy Grail, it's not like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. They're like, look, we're pretty sure we know where the Ark is. The Nazis are going to get it. We need you to go get it first. He doesn't even believe this Holy Grail is a real thing. He's not concerned with it. Sort of the artifact he's after, or that he has with him, is the diary. And he's trying to find his dad, and then he sort of gets sucked into this Holy Grail thing.
Yeah, the Grail stuff at the end, it does feel like it's like a now we have to do the end of Raiders, I guess.
Yeah, but I think it just feels so powerful to me. Probably because I saw it at the theater as a little kid. Like it's always gonna resonate with me a certain way. But Elsa, honey, give me your other hand, and then she falls, and then his dad's holding him, and he's like, I can reach it, Indiana, let it go. You're like, oh God, what's Indiana Jones gonna do? Well, we know he's not gonna die, but
Indiana Jones because they're all there at the end. Like, we have to go through this fucking obstacle course of murder to get this thing. Indiana Jones, go do it. And he's like, no. And then the bad guy that shoots his dad, and he's like, well,
yes,
if you want him to live, you're gonna go do it.
I changed my mind, and
that will save him.
The way they pay that off, he calls him Junior the entire movie, Junior, and at the very end, when he needs him to focus, he calls him Indiana. I'm like, oh God, that's deep. Some deep shit.
Like, for guys, that's all we need. We're like, oh God,
you're saying my nickname, my cool name, Dad. Okay.
All the wives look at you like, oh, that's what gets you. Yeah.
Indiana, let it go. That's crazy. I just thought of this now. He says, let it go, because Elsa can't let it go. Her name's Elsa. She can't let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
Well, that's the end of the podcast. It was a fun 8 years.
Oh yeah, the end of the podcast.
Yeah, but you did the joke that killed the podcast.
No, it just dawned on me right now, though. I wasn't even trying to like make a joke, because when we play Overwatch together and I'm healing and somebody gets too far away, I will say, Elsa, honey, give me your other hand. And the whole time, Dale thought I was referencing Frozen. And I'm like, oh, yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Her name's Elsa, too.
Because I hadn't done my Last Crusade binge yet. And when I did, I felt like such an asshole. I watched Last Crusade, and he does the Elsa, give me your hand, honey. And I was like, why is he quoting Frozen? But this came, oh, no.
No, not like this.
Oh, no.
No. Royal Rumble, you were going to talk about that.
I did. I said, okay. Royal Rumble was last night, and boy, was I pissed off. Jim, I was pissed off. Don't piss me off, Jim.
Oh, good.
All right? Slap nuts.
All right, Jeff.
You want to know why I was pissed off?
Jeff Jarrett wasn't in the Royal Rumble?
Because Jeff Jarrett was the number 2 entrant in the Royal Rumble, and he came out and had a little showdown with Elias, the guitar man. They had banter. And this is why I'm pissed off. It was over as fuck. The crowd was so into it, and I was so upset.
Wait, he really was in the Royal Rumble?
He was in the Royal Rumble. He was the number 2 entrant. You never know when I'm fucking with you. This is great.
and people, like, popped for him?
They popped big time.
They're so thirsty.
And he's on the stick, and he's doing all of ain't I great, and all this double F, double R.
Did he say slap nuts?
He didn't say slap nuts.
Oh, no. PG.
What are the odds of that? And then Elias punched him in the face, hit him with a guitar, and threw his ass over the thing. But I was so excited. I was like, it's Royal Rumble once a year. So exciting. You never know who's going to show up. And then his fucking music hits. And I'm just like, why you got to do me like that?
Now, was he the only like throwback nostalgia entrant?
I think so. Most of the other surprises were just like NXT or NXT UK type of people.
Did you see on
Twitter? And a woman, Nia Jax was in the men's
a woman.
And a woman.
How many limbs did she get?
1.
Yep. You know she's going to get one.
She got a Mustafa Ali, and then Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, and Dolph Ziggler beat the shit out of her. I don't know what
kind
they
of
were
uncomfortable.
Doing. Yeah, and as I'm saying it, watching Raw, at 8:59 p.m. Jeff Jarrett's on my television again.
I'll get you to buy some gold.
The Global Force Gold. Man.
Did you see on Twitter the fan in the front row that had the AEW shirt on that they made him take off?
Yeah, I saw a Twitter video. I think it was linked on our Facebook page. Go ahead and like that. Yeah, I've been hearing stories about this, but then I would hear other people say, no, that story's not accurate. They're just trying to rally you up.
Definitely 100% accurate now that we've seen it.
Yeah, it looked like that guy had to take his wrestling shirt
I've
off.
also heard they've done this with other things in the past, but I didn't hear what specifically. It makes sense that they would do it, and it makes sense that they could do it. And also, the people that were like, why did he have another shirt on underneath? It's almost like he knew this was going to happen, so why is he being an asshole?
He was doubled up.
He was doubled up. But here's the thing. If you're a wrestling fan, you know that wearing the shirt, there's a risk of them making you take it off, and there's probably a risk of if you don't have another shirt, they just throw you out, or they say you got to buy one, right? So I understand why people are like, oh, he just went to troll them. He probably legit is a fan and wanted to wear that shirt, but also knew like I don't want to get kicked out of the Royal Rumble either. So
yeah,
I don't think it was like a plant or like.
What if he had like a Bullet Club shirt underneath? Like,
well, that's what people mentioned. Like, no one they don't make him take off Kenny Omega shirts or Bullet Club shirts. That's different though. That's just a faction or a guy.
Yeah, it's an act.
Right. That's like
it's not the whole promotion name.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna get a little petty.
Yeah.
It sucks for the fans. It's like, let them wear the shirt. The shirt's ugly. The name's ugly. It's not going to catch on as far as merch goes, I don't think. Who cares?
So one fan on Twitter said, why don't you just pass out all these AEW shirts at the next pay-per-view? And then, what are they going to make, 40,000 people take shirts off? Or not 40,000, 15,000?
Yeah, woo! Freebird, woo! Just a fucking shirtless orgy of wrestling fans. Oh, yeah, that'd be a great smell. Let's plug it up. Let's plug it up and let's get the fuck out of here. You can follow me on Overwatch. I am a Lucio main, but I will hit you with that junk rat. And follow me on the gram at Dale Zawada, posting some fun pictures. I hope, and that's what I'm doing.
You can follow me on Facebook at James JR Songs, and you can also follow me on Instagram at James JR Music, and look for Dad Bod on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. You can see all of our upcoming shows and events and interact with us.
Yeah, post shit so we can talk about it. That's how we saw that fucking AEW video.
Yeah. Post.
So this was episode 56. Not like this. Thanks for listening. I'm JEFFJARRETT. Ain't I great? Slap nuts.
And
Gold.
I'm Seamus McFly.